Hi guys, welcome. My name is Heather and I teach you the 7 keys. The 7 keys will unlock your truth. So if you've been feeling heavy, tired, triggered, or overwhelmed, you're in the right place because I want to talk about something that doctors can't quite explain. Why some illnesses are not physical, they're spiritual. So for you guys who are watching today, you're in for a treat because we are going to go over the 7 keys for free. I teach you these keys to unlock truth. So key number 1 is you've been lied to. You have been lied to since the day you were born. You have been told to silence your pain as quick as you can, right? But the truth is that when you silence your pain, you literally are silencing your truth. And there is no way to heal that pain unless you recognize what your body's been trying to teach you. Hey, thanks for the love. So, who is ready to jump into the 7 keys, you guys? These past 2 weeks have been transformational for hundreds of people. So every day,
Can I go outside with Henry?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So every day, I've been going live. Hold on 1 second. So every day I've been going live and I've been helping hundreds of people go from a 10-10 pain to 0. I'm not a healer. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I have the truth codes. And when you have the truth codes, yay, you can unlock all your healing. So key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. That is the secret language of the body. And every single time you have pain and you silenced it with a painkiller, drugs, alcohol, binge eating, okay, you name it. Every time you ignored those emotions, every time you pushed them down, okay, your body started screaming louder and louder. Your body started telling you something's not right, and it got louder and louder until you were forced to deal with the pain. What does that look like? For some people, it's been chronic pain for years. It's been headaches. It's been migraines, okay? We go to the doctors. They've done labs. They say everything's fine, your labs are clear, because you are dealing with something spiritual. So the 7 keys, key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you. It has a secret language, and pain is just communication. And if you're hearing this for the first time, okay, you are part of the top 5% of people in the world who understand this, recognize this, and we never deal with pain ever again. Because when you release your pain, when you stop silencing your truth, the pain goes away. And I'm going to prove it to you today at about 12:15. We're going to go live. I'm going to do one-on-ones with people who have a 10-10 pain. And I'm going to prove to you that these keys work. Okay? Hey, Jenny. So key number 2 is, something could be physically off, but it's either going to be a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, or a nutrient deficiency. Okay? When you have an overload of one of these, it compiles and you have lots of symptoms. But if you go to the doctor and you say, can you test me for parasites, especially in the United States, he's going to laugh at you and say, we don't have parasites, okay? They're not going to test you for heavy metals. They're not going to test you for toxins, and they're not going to test you for nutrient deficiencies, okay? They will, but you will have to pay out of pocket. So we live in a society that likes to keep people stuck and sick by masking their truth, by silencing their pain through painkillers. So what if your body could tell you exactly what was wrong? Do you know that you can actually know exactly what is wrong with you? That your body literally has spoken to you since the day you were born through a yes and a no. Every single time you have prayed to God, every single time you have asked, is this right for me? Every time you said, is there a better way? Your body literally said yes or no. And that is called your intuition. That is your divine gift from God that teaches you discernment. Now, I teach a quicker way how to get your yes and no in seconds. So I was certified in a program in Germany, and I literally can get a yes or no for people and myself in seconds. I have a $27 guide that teaches you all the 7 keys, but we're going through them for free tonight, today. Okay? So key number 1, your body literally speaks to you. It has a secret language. It speaks to you through pain. How else can our body communicate if something is not right? If it feels good, then there's not a problem. If it doesn't, We need to pay attention, okay? Key number 2 is it could be physical. Please let's stop playing the needle in a haystack game. Please let's stop doing parasite cleanses if we don't need to do them. Let's stop doing detoxes for heavy metals or toxins if we don't need to do them. Let's stop wasting hundreds of dollars on vitamins that might not even work. How do you know? You can test, okay? In my advanced guide, I teach you which physical key, heavy metal, toxin, parasite, nutrient deficiency, which one you have. So when you know which one, then you can ask which product, and then you could test the product for its efficacy. Okay? So let's go to key number 3. So for you guys who are just jumping on, we're talking about the 7 keys. When you have these keys, you will unlock all truth. Period. End of story. Okay? When you stop silencing your truth, you will literally stop silencing your pain. So key number 3 is you might have a trapped emotion. So statistics are astronomical, you guys. 1 in 4 women will have sexual trauma before the age of 18. So if you've ever had sexual trauma, if you've ever had physical trauma, if you've ever had emotional trauma, if you've ever had religious trauma, if you've ever had spiritual trauma, most likely you have a trapped emotion. What happens when you're a little child, when you're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old and these horrific things happen to you? You don't have the mental capacity to understand what you just experienced, okay? So what does your body do? Your body conceals that emotion and protects you from it. And then as you come into adulthood, it starts to resurface these emotions. But what do? We push them down, we silence them, we tell them to shut up. We take a painkiller. We binge eat, we do drugs, we do alcohol, we do whatever we can to keep it locked away. But the truth is that the only way through that pain, the only way to release that pain is through it, okay? But it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be long, it's just acknowledging that it was there and letting it release from your body. We are gonna do one-on-ones today. I'm gonna prove to you the system works. I have literally worked with hundreds of people, thousands of people across the world. This system is universal, it works. When you have these 7 keys, you will unlock your truth, you will unlock the pain, you will release the sickness and the illness, okay? So, trapped emotions. When I was 4, when I was 5, when I was 6, when I was little, I had physical trauma, okay? And I had sexual trauma. I didn't recognize, thanks for the love, Lindsay. I didn't recognize that I had those trapped emotions, those childhood traumas that stayed with me all the way until I was 32. And I started doing this type of work and recognized, wow. Okay? So that brings me to the next key, generational trauma. They have proven this through science, you guys, through epigenetics. Okay? I'm not a scientist, but this has been proven through epigenetics through mice. You can literally have things passed down from mom, from dad, generations back. Fears, phobias, sicknesses, diseases. So you will see when I work one-on-one today with women, they will sometimes have something generational. They'll be having chronic back pain or neck pain or shoulder pain or gout. Okay? They'll be in a 10-10 pain. We'll test. What is it? Physical, emotional, generational. It'll be moms or dads, okay? When we clear it, when we stop silencing the pain, it goes away. So generational trauma is real. My dad, his dad served in Vietnam, had mass PTSD, was an alcoholic, was very physically, with my dad. Guess what his dad was? Served in the war, had PTSD, had lots of trauma. So these things get passed down generationally until you choose to not carry it anymore. My mom grew up, little girl, had sexual trauma. Guess what her mom had? Lots of sexual trauma when she was little. You guys know what I mean when I say sexual trauma. Guess what her mom had? Sexual trauma, was an alcoholic, right? So these things are going to get passed down and you're going to be holding things that are not yours. And you're going to wonder, why do I have this chronic pain? Why do I have this inflammation or this sickness? I'm going to the doctors and they're telling me everything's normal, everything's fine. The labs come back clear because you were dealing with something spiritual, something that you cannot see with your physical eyes. It's a trapped emotion. It's generational. Let's go to the next key. You guys, I'm giving you the 7 keys. These 7 keys took me a decade to learn and over $15,000 in several holistic modalities that I certified in. I'm giving them to you now for free. So write these down. or buy my advanced guide. It's only $27. I teach you how to get a yes or no in seconds. This is not magic, you guys. This is pure truth that we have been kept from, because when you have a society that can heal themselves, when you have a society that can tap into their truth in seconds and release their pain, you cannot make money off of those people. You cannot profit off of healed, empowered people. So since day one, they've told us, silence your pain as quick as you can. Take a painkiller. I did that as a mom. Every time my kids had a headache, a stomach ache, a pain, Tylenol, ibuprofen, okay? But the truth is that their bodies are communicating that something's not right, and it could be emotional. For example, 3 days ago, my son threw up out of nowhere. He just walked over and went, bleh. So I tested, and it was emotional. He was carrying, it was kind of a traumatic morning, my energy, my husband's energy, my son's energy going out the door. My son is an empath. He's our sunshine baby. Okay, he took all that energy, and his body knew that it wasn't his, so he just threw it up. But if this was me 5 years ago, I would have given him some Pepto-Bismol. I would have given him some toast. I would have done the whole routine, but his body didn't need that, okay? So that's why these keys are so important. I have an advanced guide. It's $27. It teaches you all of these things. So wouldn't you want to invest $27 so that you could have the keys? And I also teach you how to do this technique that I'm going to show you on this live in about 30 minutes, how to do on other people. If you're a mom, you want to do this with your kids, your husband, your sister, your brother, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, your friends, okay? We need to share truth, and we need to share that healing is possible, that our bodies know what to do if we have the right key, if we just give ourselves sacred permission to ask what is going on. This is not magic, you guys. This is our divine gift from God. He has given us free will and free agency, and he's also given us dominion over our body, and he's given us the most sacred gift that nobody can take away from you, and that is your intuition. That is your discernment of what's right for you and what's wrong for you, regardless of anyone else says in your life. So you were born, you had parents tell you what to do. You had parents to tell you to shut up, be quiet, listen to me, I'm the boss. You had teachers that told you nothing's wrong with you, shut up, be quiet, listen to me. You had coaches, you had preachers, you had pastors, we've had so many people telling us what we need to do. We've had doctors telling us what we need to do, okay? But the truth is that you can know exactly what is wrong with your pain, and you can know in seconds, okay? How is that, you guys? I get so excited when I teach these things, because every day I help from anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 people go from a 10-10 pain that they've carried for years to a 0. This is not some magic. This is very simple. When you find out how simple this system is, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be mad, which you should be. Because when I finally realized this, after spending thousands and thousands of dollars, after spending over a decade learning this information, I had it out with God. Okay? I was like, God, people need to know this. And he said, well, Heather, you've literally been praying since you were a little girl to be used as an instrument in my hand to bring truth and healing to the world. Now here you go. Okay? So that's what I do. I literally give these keys for free, because once you know these keys, you guys, game over. You escape the matrix, you reclaim your power and your truth, and you can heal yourself. For some people, that might seem like there's no way, but it's very simple. I teach you in my advanced intuitive testing guide. It's $27, okay? Let's go through the next keys. How are y'all doing? Yeah, some of you guys are picking up. Oh yeah, got the download. Some of you guys are already, when I speak a key, your body speaks, this is truth. I resonate with that, okay? The first time I heard these keys, because I am an embodied, pure example of the keys I teach, because I've gone through emotional trauma. I've had physical trauma. I've had emotional trauma. I had spiritual trauma, religious trauma. I had generational trauma for my mom and my dad, generations back, okay? Now, who are my empaths in here? We're going to get to the next key. Who in here takes on everybody's energy? You can feel energy. You can feel when there's toxic people around. You can like cut the energy with a knife. Me, Jojo, yeah. Gotzel, Christina, Josephine, Miss A, Simpel, Gigi, Sparkle, Lisa, Mighty, Jesselyn, Lord, me, me, ugh, me, Trish. Okay, you guys, first of all, have the biggest hearts, right? Second of all, I'm telling you now that you have to stop doing this. You have to stop doing this, because what happens is you might accidentally take on someone's energy and you claim it. You take it as if it's your own, and then you will carry it. Unknowingly, you will be carrying someone else's trauma and pain and energy. So you have to learn how to set boundaries, and you have to learn these 7 keys. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Okay, so once you have these 7 keys, you guys, once you can test if you are carrying someone else's energy, then it's game over, because you can say, sorry, I'm not going to claim this energy as mine. Send it back to sender with love, okay? So if you are taking on other people's energy and carrying it as your own, you can literally have physical symptoms showing up in your body. Doctors will do labs, doctors will do tests. They'll say nothing's wrong with you, because there's nothing physically wrong with you. It's spiritually wrong, out of alignment. Does that make sense? So how do you do this with your children? I teach you in my advanced intuitive testing guide how to do this proxy. Okay? Can you have a key with physical pain? Yes. So I talked about that. So key number 1, your body speaks to you through pain. It speaks to you when there's something out of alignment. So it doesn't always have to be pain. It could be a toxic relationships, a toxic person. You need to figure out if this job is right for you. Okay? Whatever X is, that's key number 1. We become aware and we listen. We become aware and we listen. So many people do not understand this one concept of becoming aware, stepping back and looking at your life, looking at your physical pain, becoming aware of what is the problem. Then key number 2 is this physical. Is it a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, or a nutrient deficiency? If it is, which one? Because we're not playing a needle in a haystack anymore. We're not playing the guessing game. So many people who have seen the parasite detox cleanses on TikTok, I have too, okay? But if you don't need to do a detox or a parasite cleanse, then you don't. Our bodies know how to remove parasites from our bodies, okay? But if you're carrying a trapped emotion or generational trauma in that a lower frequency, do you know that you're more susceptible to getting more parasites? And do you know if you clear that energy, the trapped emotion, the generational trauma, your body will naturally push that out of your body? Our bodies are incredible. But yes, if you have a parasite, I want to know which one, because I want to treat that parasite. I'm not going to play the guessing game with my body and my health and take things my body doesn't need. So in my advanced guide, which is $27, I give you the charts. I teach you how to get a yes or a no so you can know exactly which parasite, exactly what nutrient deficiency. And you guys, this technique that I teach you, it's from a program out in Germany. He was a doctor. He said people... he got intuitive. He started asking God, like, what if people can't get to these medical instruments to do a brain scan, to do blood work? Like, God, is there another way where we can tap in and get accurate readings on things? And God said, yes, you are a literal instrument. You are a literal instrument. You have literal direct connection to source. The second you ask, I will give you the answer. Knock, and it shall be given unto you. Okay? Every time you've asked or received an answer, you get a yes or a no. Chiropractors figured this out over 40 years ago. Okay? But this guy in particular, he wanted to know. So guess what he did? He would test people using the same exact method I am teaching you. He would test them. He would write down exactly what is out of alignment. Then he did labs. Guess what the accuracy rate was? 99.9% accuracy. And you have the power to do that. So I'm not coming on here claiming to be a prophet or a healer or a savior. I do hold space, and we do have every single person on my live with a 10-10 pain get to a 0, either on that live call or the next day, because I'm teaching you truth. These are the truth code keys. Lots of people teach truth, but we need more people to wake up and learn these keys and start taking ownership over their pain and trauma, but they just don't know how. So I'm teaching you right now. Okay? So we've already gone over a few keys. You guys, if you want to learn this method, you want to do this with your family, it's my $27 guide. Key number 1 is your body speaks to you through pain. Become aware, okay? Ask what is going on. What is the cause of this? In my advanced guide, I also do a money block. How many of you guys are dealing with scarcity? How many of you guys are dealing with money blocks? You're stuck in a 9-to-5 you hate. You cannot break that barrier of 30K, 40K, 50K. Okay, you're stuck. How many of you have parents that were stuck in the same cycle? Their parents stuck in the same cycle. It's more than just physical, you guys. You could literally be carrying a generational hex. You could literally be carrying generational scarcity. You could have an emotional trauma that's been trapped about money. How many people have had their parents say, oh, you can't afford that? Oh, that's too much money. Okay? I literally had my dad tell me, Heather, don't dream too big. Okay? So I was dealing with it on both sides. But I can tell you right now that I broke through financial freedom because I used these keys and I did the freaking work. Thanks for the love. What are these keys? I give them to you for free. But if you want to be able to test in seconds, have the charts and the guides and do this for other people and have all the bonuses, it's $27, okay? So we just talked about the absorbed key. We had hundreds of empaths in here say, I feel it, I do that, but now we're going to stop. Now we're going to test when something doesn't feel right, when we come home from that party or when we come home from the family meeting and we feel tired or moody or irritated. Thanks for the love. We're going to ask, did I take on an absorbed energy? And if yes, we can clear it and we can send it back to the person it belongs to with love, okay? I do everything with unconditional love. When I send out an unconditional love, I receive an unconditional love. Yes, bless Jess. Okay, let's go to the next key, you guys. Who's excited? One of my favorite keys as a Christian, as someone who loves God, who loves Jesus, who loves our Heavenly Mother, I believe in the spiritual key. So, when I was 3, 4, 5 years old, I saw demonic entities all the time. They were these shadow beings that would shapeshift and morph into different sizes, and I was absolutely terrified. And of course, that makes sense why I saw them, because I had a toxic mother and father who fought all the time. I was being physically abused. I had some sexual abuse. So there was a lot of trauma in my home. And so I would have horrific night terrors. I would have sleep paralysis where I was literally trying to wake up and scream and I couldn't because I was being bound in my bed. So if you don't believe in the spiritual realm or you don't believe in demonic or entities, like that's fine. Change the key to suit your language. Okay? Inner child, dark energy, whatever. But for me, I experienced them physically and with my own eyes. So I've always known that there was a God and a heavenly creator because I saw the dark and I was terrified. And then going into my 30s, I saw the tall shadow hat man. Who in here has seen the tall shadow hat man? He's tall, slender. He has a trench coat, a tall hat. Some even have saw the red beady eyes. I'm telling you this to let you know that you have power over these things. So whether you believe in them or not, if you test yes for the spiritual key, all you have to do is claim that energy to leave. That's it. Look at these people who've seen him. Not me. Not me, but my father told stories all my life. Wow, yeah. So I was 32. I had just certified as a Reiki master. I was on my way home and I could feel that there was a presence in my home. And I walked into my house and there standing in the kitchen, leaning against the wall, was the tall shadow hat man. And when he saw me and he recognized that I could literally see him with my eyes, it was like, oh, shoot. And it ran out of my house so freaking fast. And that's where I want you to be in a state. I want you to be in a state where you know how powerful you are, that even entities or energies respect your boundaries. Like you will become the king and the queen in your house. 2 weeks later, my son came upstairs and he said, Mom, when I was sleeping on the couch, I woke up and I saw this like tall, skinny shadow figure. And I was so scared. I just went back to sleep and acted like I didn't see it. And I was like, oh, sorry, babe. Like that was the tall shadow hat man, but he's gone. Okay? So there is a spiritual key. There is spiritual warfare. There's fiery darts of the adversary. If you are a true Christian and you believe in God and Jesus and you've read the Bible, then you know that Jesus cast demonic entities into swine. He literally taught Peter, James, and John how to cast out certain demons that you needed to fast. Okay? So I'm not teaching anything new. I'm just put all the keys together so that you can test quickly in seconds. So if something is causing you spiritual warfare, causing you pain, then you can test accurately and clear it quickly. So one more part of the spiritual key, I had severe migraines in here. Who in here? Hey, Dee, welcome back, love. How many of you guys have suffered with extreme migraines for a long time? Headaches, massive, massive migraines. Yeah. How many of you guys, little children are getting migraines, you guys? How many of you guys have a very specific, yes, was hospitalized. How many of you guys have a very specific migraine routine? Like the second you know one's coming on. So mine was an ibuprofen 800, 2 Tylenol 500s, a Coke, a dark, quiet room with an ice pack on my neck and my eyes covered. Okay? My children. Yeah. If I could not get to my routine, I would get so bad that I would tell my husband, if this doesn't come down, I have to go to the hospital. And some people have been hospitalized for these things. So let me tell you my personal experience. I was at a facility where I could not get to my routine. I could feel my migraine coming on. It was coming on pretty strong. So you guys want to hear this, the guys with headaches. I reached out to my friend who was also in the spiritual community, very like-minded. I said, can you please test? Can you please tap into me? I'm getting a migraine and I can't get to my medicine. So she said, yes, she taps in. She said, Heather, you are being attacked by legions of entities. The second she said that, guess what? I knew it. The hairs on my neck. Like I could feel my whole body say, yes, Heather, this is what it's been. So I went to the bathroom. I saw myself in the mirror and I tried to cast out and I couldn't. My mouth was bound shut. Okay? But we are so powerful that they can bind our mouths physically, but they cannot control or get into our thoughts. So I literally called out and commanded in the name of Jesus. You can do it in whatever religion you are. This is not religious or spiritual, but you can command them out in your name because we have power. Jesus even told us you have power over them. He can hurt your heel, but you can crush his head. Okay? So I cast them out. I sealed up my energy because that's where they were coming in through. And guess what? I have never had a freaking migraine like that ever again. Now, sometimes I get headaches, but they're usually from the physical key, nutrient deficiency, magnesium, right before my period, okay? So this is why you need to have the keys. Yes, praise Jesus, because if you have something spiritual going on, and you don't know because they don't want you to know. Do you know how many people come on my live or come and message me and they're like, that's not real, or you're worshiping Satan, or you're a lower vibrational being? I was like, okay, first of all, I was 3 and 4 years old when I saw those dark shadow beings. I was not worshiping Satan, and I was the purest, innocent thing you could ever imagine. So that's a lie. These things came to Jesus after his 40-day fast. Do you think Jesus was worshiping Satan? No. They come right before a spiritual awakening, or they come to cause chaos because they know who you are before you even came to this earth, okay? Yes, some people might dabble in some dark things. Yes, some people might have anxiety or depression, and those things can come in, right? I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm saying for a lot of us, those things show up and we're living our best lives. We're trying to be the best Christians, the best sisters, brothers, wives, husbands we can be, and they still show up and hurt us, okay? So when you have the keys and you test it spiritual, all I'm saying is you have the power to cast them out. Okay? Okay, so for you guys here, there's another part of the spiritual key. How many of you guys have been dealing with ringing in the ears? You've been feeling like you're underwater, super, super tired and fatigued. Like it's been going on for weeks. And for those of you guys who have just joined, you guys, I teach you everything I'm going to be doing, and I'm now for $27 in my advanced guide. How to do this, how to test your family, and all the charts. Yes. I'm struggling to stand. Can I do it laying down? Yes. Yes. Both ears and fatigue. Oh my gosh, me. Yeah. Try years for me. Oh my goodness. Okay. So a lot of you guys are experiencing the same symptoms. Now, when you have the 7 keys, you can test. You can test, is this ringing in the ear, the fatigue, physical, emotional, generational, absorbed? Is it spiritual? If it is, you guys, it could be ascension. So a lot of people right now have the ringing in the ears and the fatigue and like you're underwater because the mass amount of sun, the Schumann resonance, we've been getting massive amount of energy pushed on us. Hey, thanks for the love. So we are literally ascending as a consciousness. We are vibrating at a higher vibrational frequency, okay? And our bodies are integrating as the world is evolving and shifting into a higher frequency, okay? So you can test, and if you test yes to integration and yes to ascension, then there's nothing wrong with you. We just need to give our body some sacred space to do what it knows it needs to know, whatever, okay? So this is why the keys are so powerful. What does ringing in my right ear mean? Well, I would test. If I had ringing in my ear or I had whatever the symptom is, that's X, I would ask, is this physical? Is this emotional? Is this generational? Is this absorbed? Is this spiritual? And whatever you get a yes to, that's where you become a detective and figure it out. Okay? So yeah, it could be spiritual. It could be ascension. It could be that your spiritual gifts are awakening and you are actually, you're supposed to hear things from the other realm and you blocked that. So you have pressure in your ear because you're not listening to the messages from angel or spirit trying to communicate to you. Okay. So there's so many different reasons why, but when you have the keys, you can know exactly and get to the root in seconds. Okay. If you want to know how to do this and you are tired of the system, you guys, it is so stupid simple. You will be mad. When you get my ebook and you're like, wow, this was it. Like I've had this power ever since I was a baby. I could have tested this, all the things in my entire lifetime. I've been carrying that trauma with me, that generational trauma. I've been carrying other people's energy. I've been being spiritually attacked by these stupid things for this long. You're going to be mad, okay? But you're going to clear it in seconds and you're going to feel amazing. And then you're going to come on here like the hundreds of other people who finally know their truth and are sharing the truth with everyone, okay? We're creating a community. So let's get to the last key and then we are going to start doing some one-on-ones. So the last key, oh, where can I get it? Yeah, thanks for telling me. So if you click this, if you click my picture and then click my picture again, it will give you my profile. And then you will see me again, and then you'll see a link that says Stan Store. That's where you can find my advanced intuitive testing guide for $27. So that will give you all the charts. If you test yes for the physical key, if is it a parasite, a heavy metal, a toxin, or nutrient deficiency, which one? And then I show you how to get a yes or a no so that you can test, is it this guide? No. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yes. Okay, now which one? Because then when you know which parasite, which heavy metal, which toxin, then you're like, okay, how do I fix this? So then when you go to buy a vitamin or a mineral or a supplement to help with that, you're also going to know the efficacy. I can't say that word today. The efficiency of that. Is this going to help 80%, 90%, 100%? We want to be between 80 to 100% effective. If it's not, it's trash. We're not buying it. We're not wasting our time. Okay? You'll also get to know how to do this proxy. So I healed myself. I take care of myself. Now I teach others how to fish, how to do this for themselves. And I want you to do that for your family and for your friends. For you moms out there who have sick children and you want to test exactly what's going on, especially colic babies. Who's had colic babies? Okay? Or your kids with migraines or headaches, or they're sick and you just don't know what to do. What if they're just processing emotion that's not even theirs and you can help them clear that? What if they actually do have a parasite? You could know exactly which one and then you can treat them for the parasite. Because in the US, you guys, if you go to the doctors and say my child has a parasite, they're going to think you're stupid. They're going to laugh at you. How do I know this? Because I literally had this happen to me. Every single thing I teach you happened to me. And so for those of you guys who have gone through serious trauma and trials, that is your hashtag training, because you are literally meant to learn those things and then turn around and help the person behind you. And that is your gift. So don't waste your time. Get the $27 guide. It's only $27, okay? And learn these things. So let's jump into the last key, you guys, because this this key was really, really hard for me. I'm not going to lie. My hair's like doing its thing today. So I grew up Christian, like I said, and I had very, very strong beliefs about certain things because I grew up in a very strong religious structure. If you guys can relate, you know, I was very terrified to ask questions outside of the scope of my authority. My authority as a woman was, I didn't have as many gifts. I didn't have as many keys. I didn't have these things. And so, and I also believe that this was the only life. Like if you don't live a perfect life in this life and you sin and you mess up pretty bad, then you're going to hell. Sorry. One and done. Okay. So long story short, I had been experiencing chest pain. Now I'm not just talking any chest pain. I'm talking my ribs literally felt like they were crushing in on each other. But I didn't have a fever. I didn't have a cough. I didn't have pneumonia. My throat wasn't sore. But my rib cage was literally like someone was sitting on my chest. And I thought maybe it was spiritual, like a demonic entity, like sitting on my chest. But I kept getting no. So I did what I teach. And I teach people to hold sacred space. Your body literally speaks to you and it's saying something's wrong. So I said, okay, body, I'm listening. There's something going on in my chest, but I don't know what it is. So what is it? And it said, it's not from this lifetime. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? It's not from this lifetime. So I was like, okay, right? Kind of ignored it. Then I asked again, body, please tell me what's going on. And it said, it's not from this lifetime. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of hard-headed, you guys. So I did what everybody does, right? And I went on YouTube and I researched a past life regression. So I did this meditation and I was shown a redheaded princess in a castle. And she was crying and she was so upset because she had all of this knowledge and education, but she was treated less than the dog. She was worth less than the dog because she was a woman. I was only needed for one thing, and that was to procreate. And not only to procreate, but only to bring men into the world. And other than that, I was worthless. And I resonated with that because here I am, a woman with these spiritual gifts, this knowledge, this truth. And if I share them, then I'm greater than a prophet, or I think I am. So I felt I resonated with that past life, okay? But here I am. This is brand new information for me. I never believed this in my lifetime. So I reached out to one of my spiritual mentors. You guys, if this does not resonate with you, change the language to resonate so you can clear it, okay? I went to my mentor. I didn't tell her anything. I just said, hey, I've been dealing with this chest pain for almost a month. Can you help me? She said, yes. We did a session about 5 minutes into it. I'm like, hey, I think I believe in past lives. She's like, oh, good. So do I. And then she went on to tell me that I see a redheaded little girl running through the field. And in that moment, like a lightning bolt shot through my body and told me that what she was speaking was truth. Whether you call it the Holy Spirit or God speaking to me or my higher self, it was pure truth. And my pain, my chest pain, completely gone. Completely gone. I was dealing with it for almost a month. My chest pain was completely gone. So I knew that I had just unlocked the last key, okay? And then, of course, I dove deeper into different things. God shows us precept upon precept. So he showed me one little thing, and then when I accepted it and learned and grew, he showed me more and more and more, okay? So these keys are spiritual. These keys are for you to take them and learn and practice and start trusting your intuition. Stop seeking healers and saviors outside of yourself and God. Pure source, okay? These keys are for you to learn and study and practice. And I think that's why I was so upset when I learned these keys after spending over a decade and over $15,000 certifying in modality after modality after modality, right? I kept thinking I need to know more. I need to know more. And I'm not saying that that wasn't the right path for me, because it was. I needed to learn that way so that I could teach you through embodied living. So I can't stand it when someone tries to tell me about trauma when they've never experienced trauma like me. I can't stand it when someone's never experienced sexual trauma and they try to tell me how I should feel. I can't stand it when someone who hasn't lost a child tells me how I should deal with losing a child. Thank you, La. Okay? So all these keys, I know they work. How do I know they work? Because I've literally had to release things from each key on a very deep and real level. So when someone comes on here and tries to say that I'm a liar or I'm trying to make money or whatever, right? I recognize that they're coming from an unhealed, broken place and they're just projecting, okay? Because I know these keys work. That's why I come here live every day and teach you for free. I wish someone went on live and said, write these keys down and start testing and asking, because it will unlock your truth. And when you unlock your truth, you stop silencing your truth, your pain will be released. Okay? Yeah. So many of us have our own personal experiences and traumas. They are very real to us, but now you have the keys so you can ask. So you can do the work. When I hold sacred space, which we're going to do in like 3 minutes, you guys, when I hold sacred space, I teach a universal law to release your pain in seconds. It's a universal law. And also the universal law is that you have free will. You have intuition. Intuition is your God-given gift. Nobody can take it away from you, ever. It is your discernment that always tells the truth. It never lies. And it speaks to you every day and every second. And how does it communicate with you? Through pain. Pain is the secret language. Pain is just the small little SOS. There's something wrong here. It started out very small. It started out as a splinter. But we were told, hey, if you get a splinter, just put a Band-Aid over it. But then we put a Band-Aid over it, and then a couple weeks later, it was infected. And they're like, oh, just take some ibuprofen. It'll take the pain away. So then you take ibuprofen, it stops throbbing. But then you get this infection in your body, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So then you go to the doctors, and they do all these labs and all these tests, and they're like, oh, actually, you're fine. But you literally feel like you're dying because you didn't get to the root cause. It started with a splinter. All you had to do was pull the splinter out, recognize it, release it. But no, instead, started with a splinter. All you had to do was pull the splinter out, recognize it, release it. But no, instead, we're only treating the symptoms here, because if I just treat the symptoms, I will keep you sick and I will keep you dependent upon me and I will profit off of you. You cannot profit off of healed, empowered people. So when you learn these keys, you literally will become empowered. I don't need anyone to tell me what's wrong with me, because I have the keys and I could test exactly with a 99.9% accuracy rate for myself what is wrong. Pretty powerful, huh? So if you haven't already and you want to learn how to do this in seconds and you want to be able to help other people, your family members, your friends, you want to get my advanced intuitive testing guide. It's $27. You will be pissed off when you realize how simple it is as you begin practicing and getting answers and releasing your pain like it's nothing. Okay? Okay. I'm confused. Who is your higher self? My higher self is God. And who is God? God is Elohim. Who is Elohim? El is female, male. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother. We have been silenced about who she is. I teach this in my spiritual mastery course. So that is my higher power. Some people, higher power is a source, universe, but you have to decide who that is for you. I'm not here to tell you who you should believe in and worship. And I don't worship, I communicate. It's a father, okay? He's my best friend. Heavenly Mother, best friend. Jesus, brother, okay? All right, so we are going to be doing one-on-ones. I'm going to teach you in real life. So for those of you who've been watching and were like, I want the proof, I prove this every single day. So if you were at a 10-10 pain and you have been dealing with this for a long time, I need you to put, first, make sure you're following me. First, make sure you share this with just one person, but I do not want you to mass share. That's not what we do. We send it to a person we've truly been thinking about who's been struggling with pain, anxiety, depression, And if you don't know who to send it to, close your eyes and ask God who needs this information, and you will be shown instantly, and then just share it with them and share it with a message. Hey friend, I just thought of you and I think this information might be life-changing. You might just want to check her out, okay? So make sure you like, make sure you share it, make sure you get your daily heart. So when you click here, it'll be like 1 cent to join and it'll send me a heart, okay? This will also notify you when I go live so you don't lose me. Don't lose me, you guys, because we are building a massive community of truth seekers and truth tellers. So pretty soon here, we're going to have free live events where we can come together, we can talk about our experiences, and we can share, okay? We're literally bringing heaven to earth. How do we bring heaven to earth? It's through truth, okay? So do we have any 1010s who would like to be treated by me or tested? Yay! So put 1010 and then I give you permission. So if you would like me to work on you and tap into that, I just need 1010. Okay, so Candace, Chrisman, and MSA, Simpel. So we're just going to go right in order, you guys. Oh, she, I saw you first. Okay, so she, with a cute little doggy. And then we have Candace, Chrisma. So you guys, if those of you who are just jumping on, I just taught the 7 keys. I give you them for free. If you want to learn how to do this for yourself, which I highly recommend, get my advanced guide so you can get all the charts. You can get the quicker way how to test. So I have Simpel, and then I have Natasha Fowler. And then I have the Truth Observer. Yes, we're on the same page. The Truth Observer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to try to do 10 people today. We have Steph. We have J. Lolita. And you guys, I do this every day. So if I don't get you on this live, get my free guide and start doing this for yourself. I'm not a savior. I'm just holding sacred space. Ooh, I went too far up. The Truth. Oh, Claudia, I missed you. Claudia. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get one more on here. Okay, Cat. Okay. If we get through them quickly, I'll be able to do more, but you guys get my free guide. Invest $27 so you can learn how to do this proxy. What does proxy mean? It means for other people. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing proxy. So when people give me permission, I can tap in. If they don't, I can't and I won't. If I test that their body says no, then I won't, okay? It's all about free agency. So we're going to work on she first. And I'm going to show you exactly how we would do this. So first, if this was me, I would say, thank you, pain. I'm at a 10-10. Please show me what's going on in my body. And then I'm going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? In no particular order, okay? When I get a yes, that is the one we're going to clear first. And then we're going to see what that pain will drop to once this is cleared. If it only goes to a 9 or an 8 or a 7, we have another key. Right? Because you can have multiple keys attached to one pain. And then we're going to keep doing that until we get to a 0. Once you've cleared that, you guys, something might come up, but usually not in the same day. So someone said, if I learn these keys, will I never have problems again? And I laughed. I'm like, no, you're still going to be married. You're still going to have little hellion children. You're still going to have bad days. You still might get upset about something, but when you have the tools, you're only upset for a little while. You only have pain for a little while. I think the longest I've been like upset or depressed was like a full day, and then I get over it because I have the tools to tap into what I need, okay? So no, you cannot escape pain. No, you cannot escape your trials or your traumas, but when you have these keys, those trials and traumas, you can get through them really quickly. Days, not weeks, not months or years, days. Seconds. So Miss She, so we are all going to hold unconditional, well, this is a sacred space for She to be able to process. So the universal law that I teach how to release is through breath. You do not have to teach breath. Babies come into this world and they know how to breathe. The first thing we experience when we experience trauma or anxiety, depression, we stop breathing. We literally hold our breaths. So in this meditation, or in this release, I want you to breathe in unconditional love into the pain. And with each breath, you're going to breathe that pain out of your body. If you were watching this and you resonate with one of the keys that I tap in and your body increases in pain, that is your body saying, this is it. So you can do this method too at home. Breathe in unconditional love into that pain. And then each breath, it's like you're pulling that pain up and out of your body, okay? So are you still here? We're going to pin you up to the top so that everyone can see you. Let's see if I can find you. So she just put a comment in below so I can pin you. Yep. Okay. Oh, Sheila. Okay, Sheila. Thank you. You don't have to tell me your name if you don't want to. Some people want to be private or remain private, and that's totally fine, right? That's why I love this system, because you can heal in the privacy of your home, especially if you are dealing with, sexual trauma or physical trauma and it's hard to talk about it. You don't have to talk about it. So Sheila, we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. If you guys want to know what I'm doing, get my advanced guide. It's so stupid, simple, easy, especially with the keys, you guys. But get this so you can learn it and you can help other people. So Sheila, you absorbed someone's energy, you little empath. You took it on as your own and you've been carrying it. Okay, we need to know more? No. If we do need to know more, we would ask more questions, but we don't, which means your body is ready to release it. So while you're holding sacred space for yourself, breathe in unconditional love into that pain, wherever it is. And then with each breath out, okay, this is going to get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more clearing? No. So Sheila, whatever you took on was pretty big. You absorbed some massive energy from someone. So with each breath out, you're going to send it back to sender with love, okay? And let us know in the comments as this starts to move when you start getting down from pain and numbers, because we all can resonate with an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3. And this will get you to a 0 on this live, okay? So we are holding sacred space for Sheila. Her TikTok name is She, and we're just holding space for her so she can process this. It's just sacred space. Oh, Abby, yes. Yes, when we witness healing and we witness truth, it allows our body to do the same. When you hear truth, you guys, your body will literally tell you this is true, this works, you can do this too. It's literally giving you permission to look at your pain for the first time ever and be able to acknowledge its existence, its language, and release it, okay? I have been grounding and tapping. Yes, lots of people love the tapping, right? EFT. I personally just do this tap 25 times while I breathe out in and out 3 times. But yes, whatever technique you have, but universal breath and unconditional love. Does the person it goes to back to have pain? I don't know, Danette. I don't know. But you're sending that pain back to that person in love, which means they were already feeling that way anyways, right? You chose to take that on because we have free will and free agency. Just because you're sending it back doesn't mean it's going to intensify their pain. They already have felt that in their lifetime. So if they haven't cleared it, then it's just going back to them. It's not adding to it. It's just you took that on as if it's your own. So you literally mirrored them and you're like, oh, you're feeling hate or sadness or trauma. I'm going to take that as if it's my own. And then you leave. They're still stuck in their own stuff. Okay. So Miss Sheila, how are you feeling? So we just cleared something she absorbed pretty big, because this is going to take her from a 10 to a 0. How do I know this? Because she gave me permission to test, and I asked, and it told me. It said she can go to a 0 Am I healing her? No. She's doing this herself. You can do this yourself. Okay? I have the chills to my feet. Okay. Keep breathing. Keep allowing that energy to shift. You guys, trust what comes up. Yesterday we had a guy, he was at a 10-10. He went down to a 5 and he said, hey, I got to jump out this live. I feel like I need to go for a walk. Okay? We need to trust how our body needs to move this energy. Sometimes too, people will say my pain just went from like a 10 to a 20. It's almost like it goes worse because your body needs to feel it to its extension and then it'll release. So keep breathing. Keep breathing that love, unconditional love, and just keep seeing it be released. That's all you have to do. So while Sheila is processing, we're going to go to Candace Chrisma. Candace Chrisma. Are you still in here? Candace Chrisma or MSA? Or Simpel? Yes, Candace. Okay, so I'm going to pin Candace. Sheila, you let us know in the numbers, right? Massive numbers as you start to shift down. Okay, perfect. So after Candace, it is MSA and then Simpel. So for Candace, we're holding sacred space. You guys claim this healing. If you want to know what I'm doing and how to do it, you can. It's $27 in my advanced guide. Okay? So Miss Candace is a 10-10. She gave me permission. Yes. So we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life? Okay. Yesterday we cleared, I think it was 8 people that were carrying something in their past life. If this doesn't resonate with you, change the language for it to make sense. Okay. Persecution crossed. No. Okay. We need to know more. No. Okay. So Candace, we are just going to breathe in unconditional love to the pain. And your body said you can release it. So you're going to breathe the pain out. This will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So this is only going to get her pain down to a 5, which means what? It means that there is another key that's adding to the pain. So you can have multiple keys causing the same pain. Does that make sense? Okay. How do you know? Because you can ask. How do you ask? I teach you in my advanced intuitive testing guide how to do it in seconds. It's $27. Okay. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Okay. So you took on someone's energy as if it was your own. So again, Candace, you're breathing in unconditional love to this pain, and then you're releasing this energy back to sender. But let me see if we need to know more. We need to know more, yes. From mom, from dad, from brother, from sister, from a family. Do we need to know more? No. So you took something from a family member. It wasn't brother or sister, so it must have been like an aunt or an uncle or a cousin. But your body said you can clear. So you're going to breathe love into that, and you're going to release. Everyone's getting those $27 guides. If you don't know how, you just click my picture twice. It will show you my profile, and then it'll have my stand store. And then Sheila, you keep us updated how you're doing love too. So Candace, we're breathing in unconditional love. We're breathing out. We're trusting whatever emotions come up. If you need to cry, if you feel upset or frustrated, this is going to get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0 in this live. Yes. So that is going to get you to a 0, Candace. So Sheila, just want to just check in with you. 10 being the highest. Where are you right now? Oh, Nikki, does she teach the things I teach too? You guys, Sheila's at a 5. Okay. You guys, I am not the only one who teaches these principles. I certified in over 9 different modalities: NLP, hypnosis, Reiki, Innerwise, Theta Healing, MAP, Breakthrough. I felt like I needed more and more and more, but the problem is they were thousands of dollars. When it's so simple, it's 7 keys. It's 7 keys, okay? When you learn these 7 keys, that's half the battle. Now you just have to learn your yes or no. I teach you for free. If you want the quick way, like in seconds, You want the charts, the guide, so that you have the complete system for yourself and for your family. It's $27. So yes, if you feel called to certify with someone else, that is your calling. But they're not going to teach you anything outside of the 7 keys. How do I know? Because I certified in pretty much everything. So Sheila is at a 5. That's incredible. Hey, from Florida, Christina. She went from a 10-10 to a 5 in minutes. Candace, where are you at, love? We are literally holding sacred space. This retainer is sacred space. I know another person charging $8,000. Yeah. So I paid, I just guesstimated about $15,000 because it was about anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 for each modality I got certified in. And not saying that that's not wrong or right. Like they, by all means, they can charge that, and they can, and they are. And that works for them. Hi from Switzerland. Hey, Carolina. So we are just holding sacred space for Sheila and Candace. Sheila is down to a 5. Candace is down. Where are you at, Candace? A 7. If you guys want to know, I have frequency codes on my water bottle. We just started my spiritual mastery course. We go deep into your purpose, into your spiritual gifts. We activate your spiritual gifts. We release any curses, hexes, if you have the persecutions cross from a past life. Like, this is deep. This is spiritual mystery schools like back in the day. This is like the school where Mary Magdalene went to, where Mother of Mary went to, Isis, Hathor. We've been lied to, you guys. The females who were in the Bible were taken out. And these were not just normal females. These were females who had a high education in things of a spiritual nature. So if you want to learn that, it's $397. It's $35 a month, though. The frequency codes are in the course, yes. I teach you how to use frequency codes, how to create your own frequency codes, and frequency codes are very specific. They're powerful. So we just started on Monday. You can jump in anytime. Hey, guys. But yeah, so you can watch the replay from Monday, but all the modules, the whole course, you'll be certified in the truth code, because I'm here specifically to help women remember who they are and to step fully into their spiritual gifts and to bring heaven on earth. I turned my antenna on. We talk about this in the spiritual mastery course. We all have a crystal pineal gland. It's been calcified by most people's are. But when you activate and open your spiritual antenna, you literally can command and call in the people that you are meant to serve. Okay? It's beautiful. It's incredible. The downloads you get, the conversations you have with God, with Heavenly Mother, with your spiritual family, it's powerful. We just started on Monday. So we're just activating with daily DMT hits. Not actual DMT, it's nature's DMT. All right, Candace, Sheila, how we doing? Candace, I love listening to you. I do feel so alone in the world, and I'm at a 4. Okay, yes, she's at a 4. Honey, I know. But I can promise you, you've never been alone. You've never been alone. And if you're experiencing that, it's because you are going to teach people who are in your spot right now, who feel exactly the way you do right now. When you overcome it and you realize your power, you're going to turn around and say, hey, do you feel alone like you've always been alone? I'm here for you. Okay? But first, we have to take care of ourselves. I'm okay. I feel it's taking time, trying to feel it. Yeah. Just take your time. There is no rush. There is no rush. Let us know, Sheila, in the numbers where you're at. So you got down to a 5, which is really fast, by the way. You were at a 10-10, you got to a 5. It's only been a few minutes. Sometimes when people are on these lives, they feel like the pressure, like I have to get to a 0. You don't have to do anything. You just have to breathe unconditional love and breathe it out and just sit with that pain and just allow it to come out, okay? And we're all holding sacred space for you to do that at your time. So next is MSA. Oh, out of 4. Okay, perfect. So you dropped 1. See, you're doing beautiful, Sheila. You just keep breathing and trusting that this is going to integrate and your body's doing exactly what it needs to do at its own time. So Candace, you got to a 5. Where are you at, love? And then we're going to work with MSA. I'm here. Hey, Andrea. Yeah, I do go live every day, you guys, but if you can't get on my list, it means that you need to get my free guide and start practicing this on your own, or you're going to catch me on another day, or get my advanced guide for $27, okay? It is so full of pure wisdom. I do not waste your time. It is no fluff. It is straight to the point. Hey, Cody, you need to follow me then, love. Make sure you're following me. And then when you get a yes, make sure Candace is at a 3. When you get a yes, like it's go time for you, especially if it's to join my course. So Candace is at a 3, you guys. Care Bear love for Candace. So MSA, did you give me permission? So just give me permission, MSA. So if you click my picture and then my picture again, it'll send you to my profile. And then I have a Stan store. And that shows you the free guide, the $27 guide, and my $397 spiritual mastery course. Okay? Okay. I got it. Thanks. And I know you gave me your name, and it just went out the door. Andrea, right? Andrea. Okay. So this is what I would do, and this is what you will do at home too. First, we're going to recognize our pain, our block, because this isn't just about pain. This could be about money blocks. This could be about a bad coworker, a bad relationship, right? Something is not right and it doesn't feel right. So you became aware and you acknowledged what the problem is. So now we're going to use the keys, the other keys, to get to the root. So is it physical, which means it could be a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, or nutrient deficiency. And I have charts in my advanced guide. So when you know your yes and no, you can say, if it's a parasite, yes, which one? If it's a toxin, yes, which one? Because we're not playing a needle in the haystack guessing game. You don't have to. And once you know, you can test what will help with that. You could test the efficacy of a vitamin, of a detox, and you could ask, is this the right one? Will this help at 80 to 100%? If you get a yes, then that's the one you take. We're not wasting our money and we're not wasting our times for things that are not going to get to the root cause. We're going to ask if it's emotional, generational, absorbed, spiritual, or past life. So Andrea, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. You guys, I have been getting so many past life stuffs. We need to know more. No. So MSA, whether you believe in past lives or not, that's okay. The truth is that whatever you're carrying energetically, you don't have to carry it anymore. So you're going to breathe in unconditional love into the pain, and you're going to breathe that pain out of your body. You're releasing it. Okay. This is going to get you to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So this is going to get you to a 5, which means that there is another key. So if I test myself and I say I can clear it, I'm going to ask, what will this get me to as far as my pain? Thanks, Cody. If it doesn't get me to a 0, then I'm like, okay, what's the next key? Look at you guys getting that guide. Heck yeah, Debbie. We're going to test again. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Interesting. Almost exactly like Sheila. We need to know more. No. In this case, we don't need to know more. So we're going to continue to breathe in unconditional love to the pain, and you're going to release that pain that you took back to sender with love. Somebody asked earlier, does that hurt them? No. You just mirrored and took on what they were already feeling. And even though you took it on, it doesn't mean you actually took their pain on. You can't do that for people. Moms, we want to heal our children and save them, but you can't. But what you can do is you can accidentally take on their energy and claim it as your own. I had a lady who did this. Her husband died from the C word, and her son was so traumatized and had so much depression that she actually took on his depression. and it immobilized her. She was literally in a chair, couldn't walk because of the emotion she took on from her son. Did she save her son from what he had to go through? No, she just took that on. Okay? Does that make sense, you guys? You cannot pluck people out of their traumas or their trials because that is hashtag their training. So all you can do if you have a child suffering or a friend suffering, they have to get to their own truth to learn from it. God showed me this in the most beautiful vision when I literally thought I was going to die. Not because of anything other than I was going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and it's that gooey part. And he showed me, like, you had to go through this so you could learn the lesson. If I plucked you out of it, you wouldn't have learned. You wouldn't have grown. So yes, it's horrible to see our children suffer or our parents, especially in addiction or traumas. What we can do is we can keep them in our thoughts and our prayers, and we can love them unconditionally. How do you love someone unconditionally? Despite their addictions, we love them. We love them, we love them, we love them. Okay? That is the universal law that transcends pain. It's unconditional love. If you grew up in a religion like I did, love is very conditional based off of, are you paying your tithing? Are you going to church? Are you attending all your church meetings? That is not unconditional love. So MSA, let us know how you're feeling. We are holding sacred space for you. Sheila, Candace, let us know how you're doing, okay? Hey, devil, then they have multiple lives to continue to learn and grow. That is the lie, that you have one lifetime to figure it all out. I'm sorry, but I don't want to love and worship a father who hasn't gone through it. Do you truly believe, you will learn this in my spiritual mastery course, do you truly believe that Jesus and God and all these creators only lived one lifetime? Think about that. So far, you did. How are you at MS? I would hate to think that I only needed one lifetime to figure out all of my life's lessons, and if I didn't do it right, then I'm going to go to hell. Okay, so we choose to do it over and over and over again to learn all the lessons, to grow, to eventually become like our spiritual parents. Jesus said in scripture, I am only doing what my Father has done before me. What does that mean? MS, good tear smearing lighter. Okay, MS needs another key. Yes, because that's going to get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Perfect. So that will get you to a 1, MS. So we have one more key. So we're going to test physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Again, we need to know more. No. Okay, that will get her to a 0. Yes. On this live, no. Okay, so you're going to get to a 1 on this live. She'll get to a 0 by tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm Heather. She'll get to a 0 in a week. Yeah. So in about a week, you're going to be waning from like a 1 to a 0, which is just going to be, it's probably just going to feel annoying pain. MS, but that's just integration. Okay. So Sheila, how we doing, Sheila? You're so welcome. So Sheila was at a 10-10 pain. We tapped in yes for absorbed energy. 1. She had 1 massive absorbed energy. Thanks, Tammy. Do you think reincarnation is good or a trap? You know what? I have my own personal beliefs. Slowly, she's at a 3. Yay. I think I teach you in my spiritual mastery course how to know. I do not believe it's a trap. I think we always have free agency. And if we choose to come back, we can. If we choose not to for hundreds or 100,000 of years and then we want to come back, we can. But I will tell you that this is one of the lowest frequency dimensions. Like this earth, only the most, I would say, strong people will choose to come here because they realize the lessons that you'll learn are very, like, they're strong here. Like this is This world killed a perfect God, right? This world sacrificed a savior to help it ascend. That's how like deep it was. So a lot of people are coming here to learn a lot of powerful lessons. What lessons, that's up to you. What are your spiritual gifts that you've come here to awaken? You need to learn that, okay? I love the fact that you speak earth to us because we are earth, so I understand. Nothing can kill that, please. It's been here for billions of years. Yes. We are eternal beings. Okay, so how are we doing? How are we doing, everybody? So it's funny because when I start doing the actual healings, it's like people leave. Oh, it's funny. Because people just want to be healed quickly and they don't want to do the work. They want somebody else to do it for them. So your course is a monthly charge, right? Yes. So you can do the $35 a month. Well, it's $36, I think, after tax. So it's $36 for 11 months. Do you think we can come back as different animals and species? I know because I've asked and I've received. So in my spiritual mastery course, you can ask and you can receive exactly. Hey, Miss A, how you doing? That's only God's choice. Okay, so then if something I say doesn't resonate with you, then that's fine. I'm not your people. Depends on how the wind blows. I would agree to disagree, but everyone is on their own life path for sure. And if you found me and you want to work with me, it's because I am meant to teach you in my spiritual mastery school. And everything I teach you how to fish. I don't do the fishing for you. Good, feeling the feel still, but that's okay. Oh, good. Sheila, how we doing? And how is Candace doing? Sheila and Candace. Once I get a tap in for them, then we're going to go to Simpel, Simpel. MS is out of 5. Okay. Sitting out of 5. Why are you charging? Why am I charging for what, Tammy? Candace is out of 1. Yes, queen. So I'm going to, I'll just talk about this really quickly. A lot of people, they don't know why people should charge for spiritual gifts because they're gifts from God. So I teach this for free. I teach these keys for absolutely free. Now, I spent over $15,000 in 10 years of my life learning a system that I created, and then I spent the hours putting the book together, and I only charged $27. Now, the problem is that we've been taught a lie that when you certify and learn something and master something that you shouldn't charge if it's of a spiritual nature. But the truth is if I have invested all that time and money into becoming a doctor, you would gladly pay me $5,000 to give you a nose job. So it's very similar with people's spiritual gifts. Spiritual gifts, they take practice and work and time and energy. You ask any massive psychic medium who charges, like there's one I follow, she charges $395 for 30 minutes. Did she always charge that? No. She invested time and practice honing in her skill so she can get you an answer within 30 minutes that would take you years to figure out because you didn't take the time to practice or learn that gift. So it is an energetic exchange. Just like someone who, right, there was the huge massive ship and he came and he did 3 little bangs and the ship, he charged $2 million. They're like, $2 million? You only banged the ship 3 times. He's like, yeah, because the last 20 years I learned exactly how ships run and I knew exactly what was wrong with it. So I fixed it and I saved you billions of dollars because I fixed your $1 billion ship in 2 minutes. So yeah, I'm charging you $2 million. Does that make sense? So, and I recognize this because I used to have a hard time too. But it's all about an energy exchange. So I could easily charge my truth code system, I could charge someone $10,000 and I would be totally okay with that because I know that I spent that plus learning, but I don't. I give it for $27. And if people hem and haw and we're like, oh, it's $27, why are you charging? I'm like, that's okay. It's not for you and it's not meant for you. Somebody else is meant to teach you in the capacity for you to learn. And then same with my spiritual mastery course. It's $397. I paid $5,000 for what I'm teaching in this course because I feel called to help more people than a few people who can pay. But that's just personal. That's just personal, okay? So if you're upset or triggered by someone charging for their gifts that they spent years mastering, then that's not a them problem, it's a you problem. Okay? And when I see people doing that, I don't get upset. I just recognize that a lot of people, you guys who project, it's not a you problem, it's you're mirroring something in them that just, it doesn't sit right because they're not okay with it for whatever reason. Okay? So, Simpel, we're working on you. Must have lived off of the symptom. Yeah. A lot of people are in the victim, you owe me, I deserve, give everything to me for free. I don't have to work for it. And that's part of the matrix system that a lot of people are stuck in. I was stuck in that, right? I was mad when I saw people making millions of dollars. Why am I not making millions of dollars? Who said you can't? You just have to put in the work and do it. And it's hard. A lot of people are not willing to put in the work. It's hard. You have to overcome a lot of things to be a business owner and to come on lives and share your truth, especially when it comes to spiritual gifts, right? I was raised in a religion where women having spiritual gifts, being able to speak in tongues, being able to heal, right? Even though it says it in scriptures, you can do that after baptism. You better not do that as a woman or you're possessed by Satan. Okay, Simpel. Sorry, love. We are going to use these keys, and I want to get through everyone on the list, so I'm going to do this kind of quickly, and then if you have questions, you can get my free guide or my advanced guide for $27. If you're still here, Simpel, let me know. I'm sorry, I was probably talking. Yes, okay. I have permission, yes. Okay, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Holy mother. Look, it's the theme. Yesterday it was this way too. She needs to know more. Yes, it's the persecution's cross. Yes. Okay. So I teach, I'm not the only one that teaches this. It's called the persecution's cross. A lot of women and men have come to this earth because they've been silenced multiple times in other earths speaking truth. Okay. So we heard about the witches being burned, we heard killed, right, for speaking their truth. There's spiritual gifts. There's a lot of us. This is a life where you're supposed to step fully into your gifts and you will not be silenced. That is truth. Yes. So Simpel, you probably had lots of trauma in your life, lots of training. You do have very specific spiritual gifts. Everybody does. But for you in particular, it is time to release those blocks and step fully into that. So this is going to be a big one, okay? So whatever pain comes out, breathe unconditional love, blow it out, okay? Unconditional love in, blow it out. This is going to bring her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0 on this live. Yes. So that is the only thing that is causing you a 10-10 pain that you're going to release. Okay. So Simpel, you let us know when you get to a 0. We're going to hold sacred space. Sheila, Candace, MSA, when you guys get to a 0, will you please do like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 so I can see it? I noticed my husband and I both have this wound. Yes. Angela, if claim that that is true, release it. Release it. Because that was true for me. How do you know when you get to a 0? How do you know when you get to a 0 pain? Sheila, heck yes. You have no pain. So you guys, we got Sheila to a 0. Well, she got herself to a 0. Thank you for holding sacred space. If you can all care bear her love for doing such a big thing, she recognized, held sacred space for her pain, and we got from a 10 to a 0. Boom. Sheila, good job. Candace, MS, and Simple, we're just holding for you. So Natasha Fowler, are you still on? Yes, Sheila. Yes, Jamie, release it all. So if you guys want to learn this, I do teach it for free. I have a free guide, but if you want to learn how to do this in seconds, it's $27, and I teach you how to do this proxy for your friends and family members the right way through permission. Hey, Tonya, welcome. Okay, Natasha Fowler, the Truth Observer, are you still here? Okay, Natasha's here. Okay, perfect. So Natasha, she's next. We're going to go ahead and work with her. I have permission. Yes, thank you for giving me permission. You guys, I'm going to use the 7 keys. What are the 7 keys? They're in my guide for free. If you want to learn exactly how I'm testing, it's in my Advanced Intuitive Testing Guide, because I'm going to test in seconds where Natasha's block is. When you silence your pain, you silence your truth. Right now, we are no longer silencing our pain. We're literally going to let the truth come out. We're going to ask, we're going to receive. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So Natasha, this is absorbed. From mom, from dad, from brother, from sister, from family. We need to know more? No. Okay, that's why I kept it. So we don't need to know more. So universal law is breath. Breathe in unconditional love to your pain. The breath out, you're going to send this back to sender with love. Whatever it is, it's not yours. This pain, part of this pain is not yours, so we're going to send it back. That'll get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. So I test what is this going to get me to so that I know if there's another key. So there's obviously another key. So we're going to ask, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So she has another absorbed energy. Is this from the same person? No. Does she need to know more? No. Okay, that'll get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. Do you guys see how fast that was? That was literally 1 minute. Now, it's 12:40. Natasha is doing the releasing herself. I held sacred space to tap into what it is, but you can tap in for yourself. She is now choosing to listen to the pain, acknowledge the truth, and release it. So I tell people, trust what comes up. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to go for a walk, okay? There's so many different ways to release. There's not just one way, which is my way. You intuitively know your way. Maybe you need to color. Maybe you want to sing. Maybe, okay, you're moving the energy. But the fastest, profound way that I have seen people release is through unconditional love, holding sacred space, giving that pain unconditional love, and then just seeing it being released through your body through breath. Yes, Danette, yes. Any single pain, sickness, disease is linked to one of the 7 keys. When you test yes to those keys, become an investigator, and you can know exactly why, because God gave you that gift of discernment to know. And when he said, pray, ask, and you shall receive, that was not a lie. It was real, but he answered you instantly through your body. Your body communicates yes and a no. When you can test your yes and your no, which I teach you for free. But if you want a quick way, how quick? So stupid quick. You're going to be pissed off when you get my $27 guide and you're like, it's this simple. Yes, it is. I was pissed off too. I said I spent 10 years and over 15K learning the system. I was pissed. Yay, Danette. I felt the release. Natasha. Okay. Let us know in numbers, Natasha, where that pain is at. So we're still waiting for a couple people, Candace, MSA, and Simpel. If you guys claim your truth by stop silencing your pain, I promise you, this is not something hard. It is so easy. You could do this. So I'm going to try to do one more, two more. So is the Truth Observer or Steph or Joe Lolita here still? A little sadness. Okay, Natasha said she's at a 3, but she is feeling a little sadness. That is good. That could be just the emotion coming out. So let the emotion just come out, because you're holding sacred space for that energy to flow, which could be sadness. So that's perfect. You guys, Natasha was at a 10-10 at 12:40. She's down to a 3 at 12:44. You will not learn this information that I give for free anywhere else unless you pay thousands of dollars for it. How do I know? Because I literally paid thousands and thousands and thousands for it. Hey, Sarah. The system I teach you how to get a yes or a no is for you to know. There are too many saviors and healers and spiritual guides and psychics who, yes, they can give you answers, and yes, they are true, but why can't you do that for yourself? Why can't you know? You can. Felt like I got a Cairo adjustment. You did. You got a full physical and spiritual adjustment. Okay. So Natasha went from a 10-10 pain in a 3 in literally 4 minutes. And that is what I teach. I teach you how to get a yes or no in minutes so that you can release the pain. Okay. Did Jolita say she was here, or Claudia or Kat? Okay. Did Jolita say she was here, or Claudia or Kat? Claudia. Okay. So I do see you guys messaging who are at a 10-10 pain. Okay. Kat, you're here too. Okay. So Claudia and then Kat, you're next. Claudia and Kat, you're next. So you guys who are in pain now, I see you. I feel it. I know I've been there. Get the free guide. If you can invest the $27, get that, because you'll learn quicker. You'll get to the root cause quicker. And I have the charts and guides. So if it is physical, you know which one to test. If it is emotional, you know which trapped emotion, okay? So we're gonna do Claudia, and then we're gonna do Kat really quickly so I can show you how quick you can do this. I have always low ferritin, always tired. Can it be released? Yes. Whatever X is your body speaking truth. Ask the keys, because it could be something physical. A heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite. Sounds good. Yep, some people need the free guide because they want to trust, right? You just met me on TikTok. But I'm doing this live with people I have never met. So Claudia, I have permission. Yes. Thank you. We're going to ask, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. That is the theme. That is the universal theme. We need to know more? No. So Claudia, unconditional love into the pain, and with each breath, we're breathing that out. Trust whatever emotion comes, just let that release. This is going to get you to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. So it's getting you to a 4, which means there's another key. So it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Okay? How am I testing yes and no so quickly? I teach you in my $27 advanced guide. In my $27 advanced guide, you will get over 10 years of lived experience and over $15,000 of certifications compiled into this very simple, quick 7-step system, and how to test your yes and no. Also, how to do this proxy and test if there's money blocks, and how to test supplements. We need to know more. No. This will get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0 today. No. Today we'll get her to a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. So again, you will get down to a 1 on the live, Claudia, from just these 2 things. So you absorbed someone's energy that wasn't yours. You took it on as your own. And your body's finally saying, since you've been listening, finally, can we please get rid of this? So as you breathe in unconditional love, just imagine that absorbed energy that's not yours. Just send it back to sender with love. And then you will get to a 1. This will take integration for that last little piece to get to a 0. Okay? So we're still holding space. We have a couple people. Miss MSA, Simpel, I forgot. Did you say you got to a 0? Natasha. Okay. So now we're working on Kat. MS is at a 2. Hot dog. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. So 1 more point. Claudia, let those emotions come out, honey. So everyone send MSA just so much love. She went from a 10 to a 2. Claudia is feeling those emotions, right? A lot of times crying is a big one. Crying is a big way to purge and release. So is screaming and yelling. I'm confused. I have no pain. Perfect. If you have no pain, then you're fine. If you have anything else going on in your life, like a money block or a bad relationship, you could use this too. I'm Terry 2, MS. I'm at a 3. Whoa, Jay. Jay, were you claiming these healings in the live? I love that. So Kat, we're working on Kat. Kat's still here. She gave me permission. Yes. Okay, Miss Kat, you ready? Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So we're working on Kat. Perfect. So Kat, the first one is absorbed. You guys, I do this in seconds. You can do this too. It's not magic. It's in my $27 guide. First one is absorbed. We need to know more. Yes. If we need to know more, we're not ready to release. It came from mom. It came from dad. So you absorbed something from your dad. Was it generations back? No, just from dad. Okay. Do we need to know the emotion? Yes. Okay, sometimes we need to know the emotion. So in my advanced guide, this is the advanced guide, you guys. It's incredible. It doesn't come in an actual book. It comes in a download, but you can print it. I recommend you printing it. So these are all the trapped emotions, okay? So for Kat, it's this page. Self-abuse. Kat. So you took on the emotion of self-abuse from your dad. We need to know what age. Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11, 12. At age 12. How did you get that answer? I test. I teach you exactly how I tested in my Advanced Intuitive Testing Guide for $27. Because you get a yes or no in seconds just like that. It's quick. You know how quickly you type something into ChatGPT or anything, Google, and the answer is right there? That's literally our communication with God and Source. So if you click my picture, it'll send my profile, and there's a store. What do I do? Okay, Kat, so you just breathe in unconditional love into that pain, and you release that energy back to sender with love. So for instance, this was your dad. So you said, I send back the emotion of self-abuse. It's not mine. I send it back to you in love. I don't claim this as mine anymore. Yes. So people, you guys, we are literal instruments. They have proven this again through science. There's a lady on TikTok who talks about this. We are like literal phones. We're more than that. But how quickly I get answers is how quickly your father or mother in heaven speaks to you. I send him a text, energetically, a question, a prayer, a heartfelt prayer. Is this it? It says, boom, yes. Boom, no. It's quick. If you're not getting it quick, it's because your pineal gland has been calcified. You stopped trusting your intuition. You've denied that connection to source. But in my $27 guide, you can bypass your consciousness, which thinks it runs the show. It doesn't. Your subconscious does, your higher spirit, your soul. And so you want to speak directly to your soul. You do it through this system The advanced guide. Oh, Abby, thank you, love. So we are holding sacred space. You guys, I see all of your comments. I love you. I feel you. I see you and your pain. I see you. I had emotional trauma. I had sexual trauma. I had physical trauma. I lost a child, okay? I had to bury a son, a little baby who had a rare genetic disorder. Okay, I've dealt with infidelity. I dealt with cheating. I dealt with physical trauma, sexual trauma. I've dealt with all those things. They're horrible. I went through extreme depression and anxiety. I felt alone. I felt abandoned. I felt all those things. But I promise you, if you can just trust yourself that these keys will help you, that you have the power to get your own yes and no, you can test. You can test, get a yes or no, which one, and clear. By just giving yourself the love you didn't receive. So many of us continue to seek external validation because we never got it. That was me. External, in all the wrong places. So we have to stop and say, I don't need permission from anyone else to heal. I don't need anyone to see me, not even me. You do not need me to heal you. I'm not even healing people on here. I'm holding sacred space. Hiya, yeah. I am strong because I no longer was the victim. I was the survivor, and then I became empowered. And then I was like, I know my worth, I know my value, and I don't seek external validation because I know who I am. When you know who you are to the core, you wake up. That's why I help women remember. I am on a 3. How can I get to a 0? Okay, Claudia, so we release that absorbed energy. So you are going to get to a 0. Sorry, you're going to get to a 1 on this live, which means that your body is going to integrate to a 1, and it's just going to stay at a 1 for a little while till you get to a 0. But all the clearing has been done. It's just trusting and loving and integrating. You're welcome, Verdu. So Claudia, you're doing exactly, just trust and breathe. Keep breathing. Unconditional love into the pain and let it release. So Kat, how we doing? Kat, this will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So this will get Kat to a 5. We need to do another clearing. You are so welcome, Happy. So Kat, how we doing, love? So I'm just going to tap in for Kat. I feel scared. I'm breathing. Okay, don't feel scared. Just tap into your breath and just really focus on unconditional love, okay? I'm going to ask something real quick. She's surrounded by entities that include spirits. Nope, okay. Feeling scared is hers? No. Okay. So just trust that this scared feeling was part of the self-abuse that you're releasing. Okay, so you're feeling through it. You're feeling it. We're not masking it. So all these feelings are coming up. And the way to release pain is through it. So allow that feeling to just come out and just say, this isn't mine, and I'm sending it back to sender. Okay? You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, Kat. So I'm going to tap in because there is one more thing that we need to clear. Because this will get you to a 5. We want to get you to a 0. So we're going to ask, you guys have the keys. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So there's another absorbed one. We need to know more. No, this will get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0 on this live. Yes. So again, Kat, there's another absorbed energy that you're just going to breathe into that pain. Unconditional love. And as you breathe out, that's going to be shifting out of your body. So trust, you guys, trust the emotions that come up. If you need to cry, cry. If you feel mad and raged, like punch a pillow. Just move that energy. What we're not doing in here is we're not pushing it down. Okay? Sacred space to allow things to come out. Rudeo. Okay. So if there's an apple in your throat, ask to be shown what it is. And these keys are new for you guys. So just see, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Got it. Yes, you're so welcome, Lena. It's unfinished business with pain. I love that you can tap in so quickly and you know exactly what it is. So you guys, everyone can do this. I literally tap into my pain in seconds. Because remember, it's a splinter. You get a little splinter, but you can pull it out. We're not going to put a Band-Aid around it, and then we're not going to take pain once our hand starts throbbing. And then we're not going to take even more painkillers when we have a full infection. Okay? We're going to speak to our body, hold sacred space so that the emotions can come through and out of us. Okay, so Rudeo, let's actually work on you. R-U-D-E-A-U. R-U-D-E-A-U. Okay, I'm supposed to work on her. Ooh! My light came crashing down. Do I have permission? Do you want to work on that today? Rudeo, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but if you would like me to tap in, I definitely can. Denise, okay. Denise, I have permission. Yes. Okay. Of course, Candace. How are you doing? Love, we got you down to a 1. That's right. You are so welcome. Make sure you guys are following me. Okay. So we still have MS at a 2. Simpel, Natasha, how we doing? Okay, so we're going to test for Denise. I feel I have come to a 4, but there's something sad I feel needs to come out. Okay, if you feel that, then let it come out. So just sit with that feeling. Sit with that feeling. Breathe love to that sadness, okay? If you want, you can ask your body to show me where this sadness is. Ask for a memory and breathe it out, okay? So Simpel is at a 4, okay? But you will get to a 0. I think when you tap into what this sadness is, that's what's going to release, okay? Claudia's at a 2. Heck yeah. Let me know when you get to a 0, like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, so we can mass love you. Okay, so Denise, we're going to ask. We're going to start with the most apparent pain. And your body's just going to tell me. So the first thing we need to start with is physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Denise. Here we go. Persecution's cross. I knew it. Persecution's cross. So you're silenced. You've been silenced for your spiritual gift. You've been killed multiple times for speaking your truth. And this is a life where you need to fully step into that and you will not be silenced. This is true. Yes. I'm Heather. Yes. Okay. So any residual, the throat was tied to this. Yes. The throat was tied to this. Yes. Okay. That was the silencing of her truth. Yes. Okay. We can clear this now. Yes. This will get her to, what pain are you at, Denise? Oh, new to the live. The numbers. So the numbers is they start at a 10-10 pain. And so I'm asking what number it will get them down to. So when I ask, are you at a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0, we all universally know what a 10-10 pain is and a 0 pain. So this will get you to, if I do numbers, 10 being the worst, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This was it. MS is at a 1. Rudy is at a 5. Okay, so this is going to take you, Denise, from a 5 to a 0. So, Denise, unconditional love into, I believe you said it was your throat. And you are going to be breathing out that pain and releasing that persecution's cross. Okay? Your voice was silenced. in more than one lifetimes, it is time to release that. Jack, I see you, buddy. Abby, if we aren't in physical pain but emotional is the same, 10-10 rating. So if you're in emotional pain, like an emotional hot mess, then you would do the same thing. You can ask if there's a trapped emotion tied to that. You can ask if there's something generationally tied to the emotions coming up. You can ask if there's absorbed energy causing those emotions. You can ask if you have something demonic or unclean in the spiritual key that is attached to that. Claudia's at a 1. That's exactly where you were going to get to on this live, Claudia. So if everyone can send Claudia love. Okay, she's going to get to a 0 in a couple days. Yeah, emotional shock is a real thing. That will put us in fight or flight, where we have so much cortisol rushing through our bodies, which causes stress, which causes disease, which causes weight gain. Okay. Nathalia, I've seen dying in different ways in past, being burned down. She has a persecutions cross. Yes, you are dealing with the persecutions cross too. Good job, Claudia. So you guys, really quickly, I'm just going to go through the keys again. We've worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people tonight. We got most of them down to close to a 0, if not a 0. Some people are sticking at like a 1 or a 2. Kat's at a 5 right now, but she's going to get to a 0. And Denise is going to get to a 0. Okay. On this live. Yes. So these keys, you guys, I teach you them for free. You're welcome, Denise. Abby, I can check in on you, but love, you've been here for the whole time. So the keys I teach you for free. What are the keys? Key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. The roofing princess, that could be, if you feel that, you could test with these keys. So you feel that someone tried to steal your soul, okay? So that is the feeling, the emotion, the pain. You're going to ask, is this feeling something actually physical? Like I have a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, nutrient deficiency. Is it emotional? Do I have a trapped emotion that's causing me to feel this way? Is it generational? Is it absorbed? Is it a spiritual key? Is it past life? Every single thing you could use these keys for, okay? So for Abby, do I have permission? Yes, okay. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. So the first thing you're dealing with is generational. It's moms, it's dads. It's dad's side. We need to know how many generations back. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 generations back on the mom side. No, the dad side. 6 generations back on the dad side. We need to know the emotion. Yes, I knew we were. So we're working on Abby right now. Everything I'm doing, you can do. I teach you this in my $27 guide. You will be upset when you realize how simple it is and how long you've been lied to. I was so mad when I spent 10 years and over $15,000 in over 9 holistic modalities, including Reiki, Innerwise, NLP, hypnosis, emotion code, theta healing, and I was like, this is a farce. So let's get to the emotion, Abby, that you've been carrying that you no longer need to carry. It's this page, this page. I am Heather. It's this page. Worthless. Worthless. Imagine your great, 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 great granddaddy feeling worthless. And then passing that on to his son. And then his son passing that on to his son. And his son passing it on to his son. And then passing that on to you, Abby. Worthless. Yes, Dr. Bradley Nelson, emotion code. Incredible, right? So Miss Abby, worthless. How do you think you show up if you have a trapped emotion of I'm worthless? Is narcissism a mental disease? I don't think so. Narcissistic people usually have had trauma that made them into narcissists. I try to shine no matter what. Yes. So we're releasing this, Abby. It's not yours. We're releasing it. Unconditional love to the pain. We're sending this worthlessness back through all generations and timelines, and we're clearing it with unconditional love. Okay? That's been cleared. Yes. This will bring you to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So this will bring you down to a 5, which means there's more keys. So physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. I think every freaking single one of you. Oh no, not everyone. So past life, Abby. We need to know more. No. So we can clear this. So when I ask you guys and it gets to a key and it says yes, I ask, do I need to know more? And I keep saying, do I need to know more? And once it says no, then my body's done speaking its truth, which means I can now move the pain out of my body. You can't force the pain out of your body until you learn the lesson or you learn the language, the message, right? The longer you silence the message, the louder it's going to get till you pay attention. This has been cleared, yes. So Abby, just deep unconditional love into that pain, and you're just breathing that energy out. If you cry or if you get mad, like trust the emotion. Yeah, tears. This will get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. So Abby, this will get you to a 0. The end of today, yes. So for those of you guys who have just joined and I see all your messages, I wish I could help and hold sacred space for every single one of you guys on my live. But I can do something even better. Okay? Nathalie, I will do you, babe, because you've been here for a while. So I'm going to do you one even better, you guys. I'm giving you my guide for free that teaches you the keys and a system on how to do this yourself, because I'm teaching people how to fish here, you guys. I'm teaching people how to fish so that when you learn how to fish, you could teach your children how to fish. You can teach your spouse how to fish. You could teach your mom, your dad how to fish, how to take care of themselves. And if you want to learn the fast way with the charts and the guides and you're like, you're good to go, it's $27. Okay, Nathalie, I have permission to test you. Yes, we're going to do you really quickly. So you guys, if you're testing for yourself, anything, a money block, a bad relationship, I need this job, whatever, that is becoming aware. Then you're going to ask, do I not have this, or do I have pain, or what's causing me the block? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Persecutions crossed. No, we need to know more. No. So Nathalie, how do you say your name? Nathalie? We're going to bring unconditional love into that pain because it is time for you to release. Okay? Your body's already done the work. It's ready to release. That's been cleared, yes. This will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. If you want to know what I'm doing and how I'm testing to get these answers so quickly, it's in my $27 guide. My free guide does teach you how to get a yes or a no. It just takes longer. Okay? Next key. We got this. This key said that it will get her to a 4. It will release her pain to a 4. So that means we have another key. So it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Do you recognize that all 10 people I've worked on, not one time it's been physical? Like literally, usually every time I do this, it's emotional, generational, absorbed. Lots of spiritual sometimes too, okay? But the theme the last 2 days is past lives. I don't know why, but there's been a massive theme for people clearing past life. I think it's the sun, the Schumann resonance, all the energy coming. It's like pushing us out and clearing things, even from multiple timelines. So we're going to test. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Absorbed again. Oh no, I said absorbed. See, you guys, I have notes and then I test exactly the same. So absorbed, it's from mom, it's from dad. We need to know who? No. So we can clear this. Did you guys just see how I did that? I tested past life and then absorbed and I didn't know. Okay. So she can clear this? Yes. Okay, so unconditional love into the pain. Breathe out that what you took on something from someone, you're just sending it back to center with love. This will get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. A 0 today? No. It'll get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1 today. So you'll get to a 1 today, and then integration to a 0, okay? In a couple days, yes. Not past life, this is new age. Fiona, I feel you, sister. I was on the same boat. Grew up very religious. I said, whoa, that's crazy. If it doesn't resonate, change the language to something that resonates with you, okay? And it'll still work. I feel pain on my shoulder, hand, and bladder. So we're just breathing love. Each time you breathe in unconditional love to those areas, see it coming together and breathing out through your mouth. Simpel, I feel really stuck after just feeling a bit better, but still at a 4. So just Simpel, she needs more codes. Nope. So Simpel, you're doing great, babe. A lot of times we get into our head. We get into our head, especially when the pain is coming through. So if you can just drop out of your head and back into your heart, back into your breath of unconditional love, you're not stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm trusting that my body will integrate this pain out of my body, okay? And just keep breathing. Unconditional love in, the pain out, okay? You're doing great, Simpel. Trust that your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. Your conscious mind is telling you you're stuck, but you're not. She's stuck. Nope. Oh, this is a great question. The Duchess, how do you deal with a process bringing up unwanted past memories? So you can do this in a very safe way. So your body you don't have to go to the trauma, especially when it's sexual or physical trauma, for your spirit to know that that's what you're thinking of. So for me, when I went to the trauma, I was 3, 4, 5 years old. I went to the little girl, me. I went to her and I saw her. And she didn't have to tell me what happened, and I didn't have to see it to know what happened. We experienced it. And so I told her the truth about that experience. My higher self, you guys, meditation and visualization is literal creation. So when you're seeing things with your mind's eye, with your eyes closed, that is literally the quantum field. That is you transcending through timelines and space and doing healing. So this is in my free breakthrough guide as well. This process, it's called Breakthrough. It took me a year to certify in. But all you will do is you will see that little girl, meditate for a couple minutes, breathe, get out of your head, go into your heart, go to her and tell her the truth about that experience. The truth that she didn't hear about the abuse and about the trauma. And then tell her that you've never left her, that you are right here, and that she will be safe and protected, and that she doesn't have to carry that trauma and pain anymore. That is how you go to those unwanted memories and heal and process them without actually having to relive that experience, because you have to allow that pain to come up and come through you. The only way is through it, but you can do it in a safe way where you hold space for her, put her in your lap, hold your little self, tell her the truth, and then see that pain that was carried, because we carry that pain. That pain, that trauma just doesn't disappear. But you can allow that to release through your body gently, and lots of tears and lots of crying, because you're finally holding sacred space for that part of you that was left behind, that keeps trying to get your attention through pain, okay? It is the most powerful way that I have done healing for myself and held sacred space for others to do it for themselves, right? I did a one-on-one a couple days ago, and she had sexual trauma, okay? We even tested that she had a trapped emotion from when she was 3 years old. So we just held sacred space. She closed her eyes. She went to her little 3-year-old self. She held her. She told her, like, what happened to you was not your fault. You're not alone. I'm here. You can let it go. And they both cried together. And then that was released. And the pain is almost immediately gone. And you almost feel exhausted. Like, it's such an emotional release. But it feels incredible as you integrate. Yay, Empress. I felt some light energy. Yes. Nathalie, so where are you at right now? Oh, Haya, I didn't see it. What was your request, love? Haya, I like how you responded. So when I'm talking, I don't see the messages go through, so I do apologize if I missed your message or I didn't get to you. Like, it's definitely not intentional. Please read me. I've been having headaches for the past few weeks. It comes and goes. I can read her, yes. Okay, so I can do, you'll be my last one, Haya. Like I said, I wish I could do this for every single person, but even better, I can teach you how to do this for yourself. Thank you. The memory took me by surprise. Yeah, it usually does. But that means you're ready for it too. It means you're ready to go there and release that. 111. Oh yeah, did we get 111 right when we said that? I love that. You don't have to do anything, Danette. After you've cleared, after people have cleared, right? Now and the next day, something else might come up because there's layers of trauma and pain. So as you do this, you'll go to the next pain, go to the next pain. But then, you guys, life, we do not escape trauma and pain. Those equal traumas, or sorry, training. So I still have a husband who still drives me crazy sometimes, but I love him. I still have children who still drive me crazy for things. Oh, for me, no, I don't take on anyone's energy. And so I'm never exhausted because I'm just holding sacred space. You're at a 5. Okay, perfect. So I learned that. So when I learned Reiki too, which was incredible, all my instructors were incredible. She said, we are instruments. We don't give our power energy. We're just instrument for pure source. So, and I'm just holding sacred space and testing. The people who were doing the work though, Sheila, Candace, MS, Impel, Natasha, Denise, Claudia, Kat, Abby, they're doing the work. So they're probably exhausted. Okay, Haya, we're going to test for you, love. Thanks for being so patient and responding in such a nice, loving way. Are you at a 10-10? Me too, Danette. Yeah, you guys, if you can, get into my spiritual mastery course. That is where, like, but even if not, get my free guide because we are going to be doing some really fun gatherings all around the country. Dawn, me too. Yes. Haya, where are you at? I have permission to test with Haya. Okay, so I'm just going to test real quick. I have permission. She's at a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7. Are you at a 7, Pain? Okay, we're going to get you down. We're going to test first. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So the first one is absorbed. You took on someone's energy. That's not yours. We need to know more. No. So unconditional love, Haya, into the pain. You're going to breathe out that absorbed energy. That's not yours. You're going to send it back to sender with love. That will get her to 4, 3, 2, 1. That will get you down to a 1, which means we have another key we need to clear. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. We need to know more. Yes, it was for mom, dad, family member. Does she need to know the family member? No. Okay, so it was from a family member. She can clear. Yes. This will get to her a 0. Yes. Today. So it won't get to a 0 today. It'll get to a 5, a 3, a 2, a 1. So you'll get to a 1 today. I don't know why. But again, unconditional love into that pain. And as you breathe out, you specifically, Haya, are sending those energies that you took on as your own back to sender with love. Okay? How do I sign up for this? So Savannah, every time I go live in about the first 10 or 15 minutes, I do ask people who have a 10-10 pain to comment and then give me permission. So I do have a free guide so that you can learn the system, the keys, how to do it yourself. It does take a bit longer. I feel so drained. Yeah. You could be drained too because of the Schumann resonance going on, the sun, the energy. There's a lot. For those of you guys who want to learn the system that I just did with these 10 plus people in seconds. So we got through 10 people in literally an hour. an hour and like 10 minutes. From a 10-10 to almost a 0 pain. Thank you, Haya. Yeah, make sure you come back on and let me know when you finally do get to a 0. So for those of you guys who are still kind of teetering from a 3, a 2, and a 1. Okay. Yeah, so next time you come on my live, Savannah, say, hey, it's me, I'm back. So for you guys who are teetering on the line of getting to that 0, hold space. You're not stuck. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. Perfect. She's like, I'm breathing. Yes, Danette. So breathe, breathe, breathe. Unconditional love. If you feel stuck, drink some water, walk around, okay? Drink some water, walk around, get in some sun, ground. But just trust that your body is integrating and you will get to either a 1 today or a 0 by the next day. Yes, Haya. Well, please let me know because I have to get off. But please let me know when you get to a 0. On my next live, reach out and said I got to my 0. And then for all of you guys who are watching, I do have a free guide. You click my picture, my profile. I give you the keys and how to release. I also teach you breakthrough. There's also a free Live Empowered course. It is so much juicy stuff. And my $27 guide, you still have access to everything that's in the free guide, but you have all of my worksheets. So if it's physical, and if it's a parasite, a heavy metal, a toxin, or a nutrient deficiency, which one? Because we're not playing a guessing game in my life. It will give you all the trapped emotions. It will also give you a worksheet so you can go through every single system in your body. There's 10 systems. Is there something emotional, physical, generational, right? And you can check mark. So at the end, you have all of your symptoms, all of the root causes. So then you can ask what vitamin you need to take, what supplement you need to take if you do, and the efficiency or efficacy of that. Because if it's not an 80 to 100% going to help that, I'm not wasting my time or my money. It will also teach you in my $27 guide how to do this proxy. So I'm able to do this, to hold sacred space for you guys because you gave me permission. If you try to do this against somebody's will, it will not work. And you are going against the universal laws, which is free agency. So there is a sacred way to do this. There is a correct way to do this. Now, if you're a mother, you always have dominion over your children. You have that divine connection. Does that mean that you're going to save them and pluck them out of their traumas and their pains? No, because you do not have the free agency to take somebody out of their life lesson. But what you can do is you can learn to how to love them unconditionally, how to send them or test what they're dealing with. So you can test, is this emotional, generational, past life absorbed? So you can help clear those things, which will help them on their journey. But if they're struggling through addiction or pain right now, it is their training. And just please, I'm speaking from truth. When I was in my trauma, my parents couldn't save me. But if you took that trauma away from me, I wouldn't be who I am today because I wouldn't have learned the lessons the hard way. Okay? So if you can just love your children unconditionally. I knew my mom loved me unconditionally. That she knew my mistakes. People, Christians, we call them sins. I was a sinner. She knew my sins, but she loved me unconditionally. And that helped me. That helped me because I knew I wasn't alone. Okay? So this guide, the $27 guide, is everything you need to start reclaiming your power and helping your children and your family. If you feel called to step fully into your spiritual gifts, you know you were a leader in past lives and this life, and you just feel blocked or stuck, or you want to know what your spiritual gifts and you want to awaken them in a sacred container, you want to know your purpose, you want to dive deeper into frequencies, you want to know who your creator is, you want to have that divine connection. If you want to tap into your spiritual guide, your spiritual family, you guys, this is the space to activate your spiritual gifts. So I teach you the tools how to do that and connect quicker. Okay? You'll also be certified in the Truth Code. That one is $397. It's $35 a month if you want to do the payment plan. But we just launched this week. So you can watch Monday's replay, but you'll have lifetime access to all the modules. And starting January 1st, you will have the ritual for free. So we're going to do a 30-day money ritual. So if you've had money blocks, you're stuck in that 9 to 5, you know you want to make 10K, 100K months. You know you want to make big money using your gifts, right? Teaching. That was my dream, to be able to make 10, 20, 30K months speaking and teaching, helping people. And I did that. And it was freaking hard. But I had money blocks, which these 7 keys will show you where they are. And most of you guys, you're blocked because you're afraid of being seen fully in your spiritual gifts. Or there's fear of failure. There are other things, but the biggest one I'm seeing with women right now, it's fear of being seen. Okay? All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for sticking around for so long and for allowing me to hold sacred space so that I could feed you and teach you how to fish. And then for those of you guys who did clearings today on yourself, be so proud of yourself and continue being persecuted. Yeah. Continue to hold sacred space for yourself and breathe, okay? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Love you guys. I will see you, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday. So I will come on Saturday. I do not come on Sundays. If I do, it's just for sacred space for people to share. Yay, you're so welcome. Okay, bye guys.